Git Rebase is a very useful command. It's very similar to the Git merge in many aspects, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use it. Before we get into Git Rebase, let's review what we know about the Git Pull command. So as we've previously discussed, the Git Pull command is split up into two commands. Okay, it's split up into Git Fetch and Git Merge as well. Okay. From master, let's create another branch. Okay, click on master in the bottom right. Scroll up. If you see this like that, you can just restore it. Okay, so that it can dock into your IDE. After that, click on new branch. Okay, and here just call it something like test_pull. After that, click on create. And on this branch, we're going to make a change to this file, okay, to the main activity. So let's add a change right there with, for example, change from test pull, okay? After that, go ahead and add your changes, commit them, change from test pull, and execute git push. Okay, after that, your change will be now available. Chain from test pull. Okay, close enough. It will be available on the test_pull branch, as you can see right there. Now let's check out to our master branch and edit one of the strings. Okay, let's add a new string right there. You can name it whatever you want, just to simulate a change separate from that other change. Okay, so that we don't resolve conflicts. Because we have a separate video for resolving conflicts. Okay, if you want, check it out. And right there, you can just add the strings file to be tracked by Git and add this new string, add feature master for string and execute a git push. Okay, so we were working on that other branch and someone made a change and pushed it to master. Okay, it was merged to the master branch while we were working on that other branch. Let's check out to that other branch again. So what happened was we had this change on our branch first, and someone made another change on their branch and had it merged into master. Okay, for this strings file. Now from our branch, if we want to push our changes to master, first we need to pull master, okay? So go ahead into, first just check your history right there. Here you have your commit and the commit that's on master, okay? If you execute a git pull from master, let's check out what happens. How did we get a conflict? Let's just accept ours. Okay, that's pretty unusual. Maybe I changed something for before we began with this video. That's fine. Okay, here you have your change from test pull and the change from master. And in addition, you have another commit just to tell you that you merged master into test pull. Okay, and check out the order. You made your change and then the change that happened on master and then that third commit. Okay, now you can push your changes like that, and after that go to your master branch and pull your test pull branch. So there you have it. That's your change from the test pull branch, and you can see it right there. Okay, just as you had it on that test pull branch. And this is fine. This is the normal Git flow. But if you notice, the changes that happened on that branch were before the changes that happened on master. okay, in that order. And in addition, you have this extra commit that you really don't need, okay? And that's why they made a tool called Git Rebase, okay? Let's push our changes into master before I explain what Git Rebase does, okay? Let's do the same, just as we did with the test pull branch. From master, create a new branch and call it test rebase. Okay. Go ahead and navigate to that branch and just modify this file. Okay. Change from test rebase. And after that, execute the git add command followed by the git commit to include a change from test rebase. After that, execute a git push so that we can have our latest changes on the test rebase branch. Okay. After that, go back to your master branch, just like we did previously, and modify another strings file, another strings resource if you want. Okay. So here you have feature master 5 as your new string. Add it, commit it, add new master feature 5 and push it. Okay, so now that change is on master. Let's head back to our test rebase branch. Where is it? You can write the name of the branch right there to filter it out. Okay, because in bigger applications you will have lots of branches. So keep that in mind. So here we're on our test rebase branch. Okay, but instead of executing a git pull from master, we're going to execute a git rebase. Okay, and just review the commit history right there. This happened with our previous changes and our new changes. We had this change on the test rebase branch and that change on the master branch. Okay. Now on our test rebase branch, let's go to Git and click on rebase. Okay. And in this window, you specify which branch you want to rebase from. So here we want to rebase from master and just click on rebase. Okay. And there, as you can see, you have that new master feature 5. And after that feature, you have your change from test rebase. Why did that happen? We had our change here first, and then we executed our change on the master branch. Well, that happened because of the rebase feature, okay? Or the rebase command in our case. Because rebase doesn't just pull the changes, it checks out what are the latest changes on master. And after it checks out the latest changes on the master branch, it checks if we can add our changes from this branch to the end of those changes. Okay, not similar to the git pull in that aspect, because git pull just has your change right there, and after that, any change that happened on the master branch. Okay, as you've seen in this sequence. But with the Git Rebase feature, it's different. Okay, because you're checking what's the latest changes on master, and you're checking if your changes can be added to the end of those changes or after those changes. Okay, which is actually better in terms of resolving conflicts, because you can make sure that all of the changes on this branch can be added to the end of those changes on the master branch. Okay, but you have to note something here, as you've seen in my history. We have two separate commits right now for the test rebase. And that's because the test rebase, or the rebase command, actually rewrites your commit history. Okay, to have this apply like that, it has to rewrite your commit history so that the commits or changes on this branch are applied after the changes on the master branch. Okay, so you have to take that into account. So this is a command that you would normally use for your local changes if you're working alone on a certain branch, okay, and not with other people. Because if you change the commit history on a branch that other people are also working on, you will cause them some problems. Okay, so keep that in mind. But here, as you've seen also, you don't have a separate commit for merging the master branch into the test pull branch. Okay, and that's an added value because these commits can clutter up in a huge project. Okay, you don't want to see that commit because you just want to see the changes that you've done. Okay, you don't want to see a change concerning merging a branch into another branch. And that's the other added value of Git Rebase. Okay, so here just execute a git status, and after that we have to execute a git pull, okay, before we push our changes, because Git Rebase makes a change on the level of the origin, okay, the remote branch. So execute a git pull right there. The merge was made, and after that, if you click on git status, you can see that you are now prompted to push your local commits. Okay, you can also see that from the green circle right there. If it's green, you have to push, and if it's blue, you have to pull your changes. Okay, so execute the git push command right there. And now just check back to your master branch, and you can also execute a git rebase, okay, from the test rebase branch. So rebase that into master. You also have to execute a git pull before you execute a git push. I think there's no need for the git pull except from the source branch. Okay. So here in our history, as you can see, you have that change, that initial change. We then had a new master feature 5, and after that, we added our change from the other branch. Okay, and this happened because, as I've told you, Git Rebase takes the changes from the destination branch, in our case master, and checks out if we can add our commits after that. Okay, all of our changes, if they can be executed after the latest changes on the master branch. Okay, and you might ask me, well, what about this? Well, isn't this what we try to avoid right there? Right there in that commit, we had merge branch master into test pull. Okay, but here we had merge test rebase into test rebase because we just executed a git pull command. Okay, that's similar from having a commit just for merging a remote branch into our branch. Okay, so keep that in mind. And that's how the git rebase command works essentially. Okay, now we're going to see how to make a git rebase with the interactive feature and how it can benefit us. Okay, so here from our master branch, just check out again to the rebase branch. Okay, just write test rebase right there, and now we're on our test rebase branch. Okay, let's just simulate another change. Just like that, execute a git add followed by a git commit, change from test rebase to, and push those changes. After that, you can modify the file again for another commit. Okay, execute a git add followed by a git commit, change from test rebase 3 and git push. Okay, you're going to see why I did that shortly, and go to your master branch. Okay, Now, from your master branch, you can modify that strings file again with the new master feature 6. Okay, add that change to be track, commit that change, feature 6 string, and execute a git push. Okay, now you can head back to your test rebase branch. Okay, now on our test rebase branch, we want to rebase from master. Okay, so go to your Git tab right there and click on rebase. But instead of we want to rebase from master first, instead of going with the default options, we're going to click on this modify options right there, and we're going to go with the interactive option. Okay, click on interactive, click outside that window, and now click on rebase. Okay, so here, as you can see, we are rebasing commits. And why would we do that? Well, in a real-world application, sometimes you have to be working in a fast-paced environment. Okay, so you don't always make those meaningful commit messages, and not having meaningful commit messages can really cause you a lot of problems. Okay, especially when you want to just revise what happened at a certain point of time in your Git history. And you really need to have those meaningful commit messages so that you can know what happened to your project at a specific point of time. Okay, and you can do that right there. If you click on this commit, for example, you can just write something like add a new feature, for example, about section. Okay, that's a meaningful commit message. And if you click outside the scope of that window, like that, as you can see, this got reworded. Okay, because I clicked on this reword option. You can do the same for that other commit. For example, instead of add, you can just write something like implement, for example, implement Firebase Crashlytics. Okay, that's a meaningful commit message. Click outside that box, and now that commit is reworded. Okay, that's one option you can do. You can also drop a commit, and you can also squash two commits into one commit. Okay, you can experiment with those, but please experiment with them on a separate project. Okay, one that is dedicated to Git, not on your production level project, because you will face a lot of problems with that. So you really need to understand the tools that you are using and how they work before you actually use them in a real-world application. Okay, so here we have our two commits. You can go down to the bottom right and click on Start Rebasing. Okay, now if you go to your Git tab right there, just check out what you have. You have that change from the master branch, new master feature 6 string, and after that your new commits, okay, which are add a new feature about section equivalent to this commit, and another commit implement Firebase Crashlytics, for example, equivalent to this commit, okay. And as we've said, that's really useful because you want to know what happened at a specific commit at a specific point in time, okay, so that you can track any issue that happens to your project in the future. Move that down, and now if I write git status, I have to first pull, and after I pull, I have to push my changes. So there I have my changes pushed, and after that I can go to my Git master branch again and go to my Git Rebase option right there. For test rebase, you can leave that on interactive. There are no commits to rebase because the current branch is directly below the base branch, or they point to the same commit. Okay, this is fine. Click on OK. And now rebased master on test rebase. Okay. So that's what happened because you already did that rebase from this branch, okay, to your test rebase branch, the one that we were just working with, okay. And here, as you can see, just like we had on that branch, you have the changes on master, followed by the changes on your feature branch, okay. And when feature branches have a lot of stuff to implement, this is very useful because you can really postpone all of those changes until you actually need them. And you can just always make sure that your changes can be applied after the latest change on the master branch. Okay, that's why we use the Git Rebase feature. And that's about it for our video. If you like my type of content and you find it to be relatable, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for future content, and I'll see you in the next video.